Hey everyone, National Master Shanlei here. Now, before we get into the second video of Road to 2000, I just want to say that I did play a game in between games 1 and the current game that I'm about to show you. However, that game was pretty uneventful. It was a game where my opponent kind of disconnected a few moves into the game, and so I won the game, so I don't think that would be a very good game to show you guys. So instead, we're going to get straight into the next one. We are now 1630. Let's see if we can win the next game. All right, who are we going to get today? We got a 1592. I think this is the lowest rated opponent we played so far. What we're going to do is we're going to play the Colle Zukertort. Now, our opponent plays e6, and it doesn't really matter. The best thing about this opening is you really could just pre-move a lot of your moves. And this opening doesn't really change. Now, my opponent is copying me, and that's generally not the best idea. Now, my opponent finally plays pawn c5. Now, pawn c5 is a good variation. One thing for you guys to always note at the lower levels, just play pawn b3. Don't let him play c4, kick your bishop away. If he captures, that's a-okay. You just capture back. When he plays knight c6, I like to just play pawn a3. Just don't let the opponent be annoying. Now, in this position, he cackles. We're going to cackle as well, and we're going to play bishop b2. Bishop d7 is not correct by opponent. The bishop belongs on b7 or a6, but our opponent just decides to put his bishop on a very bad square. Now, our opponent might be trying to cosplay Santa Claus because he is giving us a free gift, and we will just take the gift because why not? Free pieces are free pieces. Even at the 1600 level, it seems to me that people just like to give stuff for free. All right, so bishop to d3, we're just going to continue on with our plan. It doesn't really change in this position, well, until now, because if we play knight e5, we might be running into some issues where our opponent wins our pawn, and that is a little bit annoying. We don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a small change of plans. We're going to slowly get our pieces in a way that we can defend d4, and then when he captures us, oh, it looks like he's stopping us from playing that. He wants to play pawn e5 himself, which is definitely an idea that he should be going for. So we're just going to stop that with a move like rook e1. We're going to play moves like queen e3, queen g5, and eventually we will plop our knight to e5. No rush. Looks like our opponent finally decided that is a good time to try to get rid of our most powerful piece. And yeah, that makes sense. If I play queen e3, then he can play bishop a6. And while I do get knight e5, and I'm not sure I like that too much, because we lost our star player, right? And so in this position, let's see, if I play knight e5, can he capture? Yeah, he can. That is annoying. We don't want to just give him a free piece. Now, something we could do is we could just play pawn b4, pawn c3, lock our own bishop in here forever, and basically say, hey, I just want to play knight e5. Please let me play it. But in this position, I think just something simple like queen e3 makes sense. If he plays bishop a6, he plays bishop a6. Who cares? I'll just take him queen takes a6 and then just queen g5. Or I could even play just knight e5 afterwards. You know what? Let's just do it. It's a slow plan, but it looks fine. Need to be sure that knight g4 also doesn't do anything annoying, but it doesn't really do anything annoying, so we're good. We could be playing knight e5 on the next move as well. So let's see what our opponent comes up with here. What is our opponent trying to do? No, okay, he plays that. He's trying to play a4, but I could just play b4, so not sure what that does. So I could play knight e5, but if I play knight e5, he captures me, I capture back, I trade off the pieces. I am up in material, and being up in material is generally good for the person who's up in material, but it seems kind of boring. But whatever. I'm well known for being a boring chess player, so we're just going to play knight to e5, stop him from playing e5 forever, get his bishop sad, and if he takes us, he takes us, and we're happy. Oh, our opponent doesn't take us. He just lets us have a very strong knight, I suppose. Now in this position, we do have pawn a4 we can play, but he has knight to b4. That is kind of annoying. We could take him, but not sure how that helps us in any way, shape, or form. We could just try to move our pieces closer to his king. That's always an option. Bringing in pieces to attack, the critical points. Queen f4, bring in the pieces like rook e3, rook g3. Looks kind of scary for our opponent, but is it enough is the question. Is it enough for us to be happy? Doesn't take much for me to be happy, so let's just play it, whatever. Queen to f4 looks good. We're just going to slowly bring in the pieces. He can do whatever he wants on the queen side. I don't really care. It doesn't really impact me. It's very slow, and he gave us a pawn already, so his goals of promoting a pawn in the queen side doesn't seem to make a lot of sense here. So, okay, our opponent's thinking queen f4. Just this might not be the best move. I'm sure the engine doesn't even like it. Now, if our opponent plays knight d7, this is the hardest question ever seen in the existence of chess. All right, guys. Now put on your Magnus Carlsen caps right now and help me find the winning move. Is it rook e3? Is it knight takes c6? Is it knight takes d7? Or, pause your videos before you get spoiled, we just take on f7 because his knight's gone. Oh, sad. Pretty interesting game, but in the end our opponent just blunders, gives up his rook, pawn, everything, and we win. Pretty easy game, to be honest. Let's do a game review. I'm sure we don't really need to take a look at much.
You saw your chance for the win with a
right.
nice tactic, and you took it.
Huh. I didn't know this game analysis, the guy actually talks, so that's pretty interesting. So you can't see it on the side, but it says I only played like a 2000 rated player. It says I made a couple mistakes here and there, and just like you guys should be doing, I'm going to analyze my mistakes. So, okay, so the beginning of the opening, it says it's just even, like this is just
Your
normal
knight becomes
stuff.
more
That makes
powerful
a
by developing-
sense.
Applying pressure to
Let's turn off him. All right, so as you guys can see, b3, this is all normal stuff. It says it's an equal position, which makes sense. Bishop b2, and our opponent plays b5, and that's a huge mistake by him. We just take the pawn, and in this position, we're like +2 already. We just slowly build up a position. It says it doesn't like rook e1. To be honest, I'm not sure why it doesn't like rook e1. It looks pretty normal to me. But it is what it is. After bishop c8, we play queen e3. Now, okay. It says it doesn't like it because of pawn e5, but I thought pawn e5 just looked pretty bad. Well, it's still winning for white, but it's not as winning as it says on the side here. It says it's +1 only. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Anyways, queen e3 is a miss. It says c4 is a win. While c4 is a win, this is a type of move I would really only be playing in a longer game if I have more time to calculate. This move is risky for a lot of different reasons. Like, if you play c4, like, what are you going to do after he captures? If you capture with pawn, queen will capture your bishop. If knight captures, he'll capture your pawn on b3. And while that is winning for you because of this combo, this requires a little bit of calculation. So I don't recommend a move like c4 unless you have time to actually calculate. Instead, just play the simple queen e3. Idea is we're just going to bring in the pieces. And as you guys can see, I'm just bringing the pieces. And queen f4 says is also a mistake because it likes knight takes c6. But as you guys can see, by pressuring our opponent, it gave our opponent an opportunity to mess up. And guess what? He messed up. And so that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a quick one, to be honest. The Colle Zukertort can do that very often, where you just blow up your opponent's king. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and a comment in the comment section below. And please subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.